one chance. Is that too much to ask? I mean, it's not like it'll kill you. Yo, Rocky, wake up! You gotta go fetch Mulan! Come on, boy. Go get her. Go on. Come on. Hello? 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 Stony? Stony. Oh, man, they're gonna kill me.
Okay, so I'm going to say something that I think that most adults can agree with me. I love Disney animated movies. I love them. I love Toy Story. I love Monsters, Inc. I love Coco. I love Finding Nemo. I love all Disney movies, except for Cars 2, because let's not talk about Cars 2 now. I love Disney movies, and they're all great. I happen to find that Disney movies really have a very simplistic way of telling very adult stories by managing to present it in a way that even kids can consume it, which is something that I really like about Disney movies. The Disney movie I want to talk about today is Mulan, which is my all-time favorite Disney movie ever. And no, it's not because Mulan is about a Chinese character and that I'm also Chinese American. No. It's a common misconception that a lot of people get. No. What I love about Mulan is that it really is a story about confidence building, which I really gravitated towards when I first saw the movie so many years ago. And there's a lot of people who love Mulan for different reasons. Some people love it because of the characters. Other people love it for the iconic scenes or the iconic songs. Or sometimes just because, or sometimes it's just because you love Mushu and you love Eddie Murphy. I don't blame you. I love him too, and Mushu is still best sidekick ever outside of the genie. Now I could go on forever and talk about all the scenes in Mulan that really stood out to me, but today I really want to just talk about a select few that really stuck out to me. And I want to start no other than the matchmaking scene in the original movie. We meet Mulan as she's waking up in the morning and she's writing some calligraphy on her forearm, possibly to memorize things that she's not going to remember. What we see from Mulan in this early scene is that she's very intellectual, she's very smart, and she definitely thinks outside of the box for any given situation that she's in. When she has to do her morning chores, she attaches a bone to her dog so she can chase after it and help feed the chickens. Which, by the way, we cannot talk about the chickens without talking about this iconic scene right here.
Honorable ancestors, please help Mulan impress the matchmaker today. Please help her.
We also end up later seeing that Mulan herself ended up messing up her matchmaking ceremony with the matchmaker because she wasn't following directions as she was trying to help get the cricket out of the cup of tea that she had poured for the matchmaker. Now, we as the audience know that this isn't Mulan's fault. She was just trying to help out because having a bug in your drink is pretty gross. Unfortunately, the matchmaker does not do that, and all sorts of shenanigans ensue.
You clumsy...
I think it's going well, don't you?
Put it out! Put it out! Put it out!
Mulan has clearly failed with the matchmaker. And what's even devastating is that in public, she's told that she will never bring honor to her family. And she does this in public. I mean, that's kind of like the equivalent of your high school principal telling you that you're only going to end up in prison because you're that one kid who couldn't sit still in class. The devastating thing about Mulan failing the matchmaking session with the matchmaker is that at this point in the film, Mulan is led to believe that this is her only path in life. So if she screws this up, she's not going to know which direction her life is going to go. I mean, how would you feel if someone said, this is your one path towards success, and if you fail it, sorry, you don't get any second chances, you're basically a screw up. This sort of thing is not uncommon in the real world either. So in the States, we have to take the SATs, right? You know, when you're a junior in high school, you have to take the SATs so you can get into college. But then if you don't do well on it, that's okay, because you also have extracurricular activities, you have your grades, if you show you have leadership skills, you can still get into college even if your SAT scores are slightly worse than your peers. In China, the equivalent of the SAT is called the Gaokao exam, which is basically kind of like this one test that basically dictates what college you go to and what career you're going to end up having, if you can have a career. Just like Mulan in this matchmaking session, Mulan is led to believe that this matchmaking session on this one particular day is her only chance to find out who she is and where she belongs in the world. At this point, Mulan, feeling completely lost and completely shattered of what her identity is, sings the iconic song Reflection, which to this day is still my number one favorite Disney princess song ever. Beats out all of them. When we as people feel worthless and feel lost, we hate ourselves. That's just kind of the general consensus of how it goes. When you fail, you start feeling sorry for yourself and you start hating yourself. You don't want to look at yourself in the mirror because you hate the person that you're seeing in the mirror. So you start asking yourself, well, what's wrong with me? Mulan's dad later comes by to help cheer her up.
My. What beautiful blossoms we have this year. But look, this one's late. But I'll bet that when it blooms, it will be the most beautiful of all.
Now, I love Mulan's dad in this film. I find that he has a lot of compassion and a lot of patience for his daughter, even though she basically screwed up the most important day of her life. And we really see their relationship cemented very deeply, even in the opening minutes of the film, where Mulan watches out for her dad and to make sure that he drinks the tea that the doctor prescribed for him because of his health. Shortly after, this is when Mulan's dad gets drafted into the army once again. We see immediately that his tone changes, his mannerisms change. And when Mulan tries to convince him to not go, he publicly says,
Mulan, you dishonor me.
Where minutes ago, he was comforting Mulan over what was probably the worst day of her life. Later that night, the family has an awkward dinner. Mulan knows that this could very well be the last dinner that she will have with her father. Mulan just about loses it right here.
You shouldn't have to go.
Mulan.
There are plenty of young men to fight for China.
It is an honor to protect my country and my family.
So you'll die for honor.
I will die doing what's right.
But if you...
I know my place. It is time you learned yours.
And that was it. Those are the last words that Mulan's father said to her before she left. Mulan is devastated. She runs out and starts crying. This has been the worst day of her life. Being told by everyone around her that she is worth nothing, that she only brings dishonor wherever she goes. She's lost. She's confused. She doesn't know where she belongs. She spends the night crying in the rain. And once we see the lights in the house fade, her look turns to defiance. Mulan's decision to leave is probably the film's most powerful moment. Now, the most common thing I've heard about why Mulan left home to join the army is because she loves her father and she cares for her father, and because she doesn't want him to die in war because the risk is very high, that's why she went. However, I've got a different interpretation for that scene. See, I think what it really comes down to is that yes, Mulan loves her father, but I think the reason she wants him to live is because Mulan's father is the only one that still believes in her. He's the only one that came to her aid during a time when she felt worthless. By losing him, she has no one else to go to. While I completely agree that Mulan went to war to save her father's life, I think she also went because she knew that if her father went to war and died, there's no one else to tell her that it's okay that you messed up. We'll find another way and you'll eventually get there. Mulan's dad came to her aid when she was feeling lost and worthless. And if she lost her father in war, she could very much lose herself. Now, before I talk about the scene where Mulan goes back home and sees her father again, I got something to pick about with the remake movie that really, really pissed me off. So anybody who saw the original animated movie knows that when Mulan goes back home, she visits her father by herself in private to give her the gifts that the emperor gave to her as a reward for saving China and to bring honor to their family. And we all know that by the end of that scene, Mulan's dad does not care about those gifts and just embraces his daughter again, because all he cares about is just having her back home safe again. At this point, honor means nothing to him. All he cares about is making sure that his daughter was safe. Now, while the remake does have a nice reunion between Mulan and her father, this is completely ruined by this one. I don't even know how to describe it. You know what? Let me just play the scene for you and just watch the scene real quick. I can't even. I can't even. Okay, just watch it.
I'm honored to receive you and the Emperor's guard. But if you're here to discipline Mulan, you have to get past me.
I do not believe that would be necessary.
Under order of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor, we present this gift to Hua Mulan. She has saved the dynasty. The entire kingdom is in her debt.
Do you guys see where this scene pissed me off? Do you guys notice it?
The entire kingdom is in her debt.
Right there. That 2-second scene. Not even 2 seconds long. I don't even know how long it is. It's probably only a second long, barely. Of the matchmaker fainting right after she is publicly told that Mulan is not a disgrace to her family, and faints. Well, not faint, but like feels ashamed of herself. This scene pissed me off. See, I talked about how in the original animated movie, when Mulan messes up with the matchmaker and is told publicly with all of her peers around that she is not going to bring honor to her family, and Mulan is devastated and then sings Reflection afterwards. That is such a powerful scene, and that's the last time we see the matchmaker in the film. When we see Mulan come back from war, she only goes to see her father. She doesn't need a whole town of people to publicly announce that she's no longer a disgrace, that she did bring to honor to her family. Let me put it this way for you. I talked plenty in this video already about confidence building, right? And we know that when our confidence is shattered, we want to feel like we're worth something again. I am not a firm believer of having revenge. I know a lot of people out there, you know, when you're ridiculed by someone, you want them to have that same reaction that the matchmaker gave when she fainted just now. I get that. But what I can't stand is like this message of like, you can only be satisfied only after somebody goes, I am not worthy, I was so wrong about you, I hail you as the queen, or whatever. I can't stand that. I don't know what message you're trying to say with this message. I mean, the new Mulan in this 2020 remake isn't even that heroic anyway. She's just stoic, tough and just strong because she has chi, and because the matchmaker in the remake movie says you're bringing dishonor to your family because you're a free thinking person and not a proper woman, and then comes back and then it's like, oh my gosh, I was so wrong about you, you are a god to me. No, I cannot stand that. Stop doing stuff like that. The thing is, you don't need other people to tell you that you're worth something. That's the whole reason of why I love the animated movie. The matchmaker in the animated movie tells Mulan that she's worth nothing. And by the end of it, she proves it to herself. She doesn't need to prove it to other people. The whole town doesn't need to know that Mulan is this godlike hero. Mulan herself knows that she's already worth something because she saved China and defeated Shan Yu on her own. Not because she needed the Chinese army to come at the end of the movie to publicly announce that she's no longer a disgrace. Okay, now that I'm done with my Mulan 2020 is horrible rant, let's get back to the real Mulan now. So Mulan finally comes back home to her father. We see that the flower that Mulan's father was referring to earlier in the movie has finally blossomed. And as we see that blossom fall into his lap, Mulan, who has blossomed herself, has also come home, ready to make amends with her father and apologize for leaving.
Father, I brought you the sword of Shan Yu and the crest of the Emperor. They're gifts to honor the Fa family.
The greatest gift and honor is having you for a daughter. I've missed you so.
I've missed you too, Baba.
Mulan's journey is now complete. Mulan started off the film as a free-thinking person who felt lost, had low confidence, and felt worthless. And now, she's gained that confidence back. The only person Mulan needed to satisfy was herself, and she has done that. And that, my friends, is why Mulan, the 1998 animated film, is my favorite Disney movie of all time. Mulan helped me find confidence, and I'm sure it can help you find confidence too. If you're ever feeling down, feeling that you're worthless, feel like you amount to nothing, or feel lost in life, you'll get there. Mulan did that for me.
Thanks for watching Demi's video. If you liked it, you should smash that subscribe button and do the like thing on the likey thing, and there's probably a bell as well, and there are other things that you should do because more Snammy is only good.